In a FOX23 investigation, a woman says grave sites at Okmulgee Cemetery are overgrown and not being maintained, including grave sites for veterans. Weekend anchor Morgan Martin went to see for herself and asked the management why is it in such disarray. It's her FOX23 investigation.
Yeah.
Every time Kristen Whitman visits her loved one's grave, she feels more and more disheartened.
It used to be a really nice cemetery, really well kept, really nicely manicured. And in those years since we buried her here, it's gone downhill. There's not been any landscaping done.
Much of Kristen's husband's family are buried inside this Okmulgee cemetery, including her mother-in-law.
So fiery, like the most fiery person I've ever met, and just never scared to tell it like it was. Sure. She would be heartbroken. I mean, her mom and her brother are buried up here. Yeah. Her dad's up here too. So it's a long line of people, and you're like, oh, this is just not okay.
Kristen says when she and her family make the hour-long drive from Broken Arrow, it's a gamble on what the grave sites will look like.
The first few times we just kind of thought, oh, it's, the hot part of the summer, or it's the end of the season. We just kind of brushed it off and thought, oh, they're busy, or it's different stuff like that. When the grass got to be about knee-high, we knew we had to do something about it.
That's when she started making phone calls. She says it took about 10 calls to the cemetery's main office before anyone finally answered. She said workers have made some improvements. For example, when I walked to the side of the cemetery where Kristen's mother-in-law is laid to rest, I saw 2 people mowing. Kristen says that's a good start, but more needs to be done. Like this area where a tree fell on tombstones, and this overgrown grass makes plots difficult to see.
And this is a private from the U.S. Army, World War I.
Wow.
That's not okay.
Yeah, that's another vet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would not know these are here.
That's the part that really bothers me. We're dishonoring those service members, and it's not a good thing.
Kristen says this area dedicated to veterans is a space she hopes will be cleaned up before Veterans Day.
And I'm not expecting, gorgeous flowers or anything like that, but just general upkeep, maintaining the trees, making sure that trees aren't on headstones, and just basically keeping the grass at a minimal level so you can go out to see your relative and go out to see their final resting place to pay your respects.
When I went by the office during open hours, I saw this sign on the door that said closed. I called the number posted on the door multiple times to ask about Kristen's concerns.
Hi, this is Morgan Martin with FOX23 News.
A supervisor answered and told me they do not have the funds or staff needed to keep up with cemetery maintenance. He said it's been like that since before he started working there 2 years ago. He added that they are a nonprofit and only make money from plots and burials.
Here's a whole family right here.
Kristen says at the end of the day, her goal is to help get the cemetery cleaned up so families can focus on visiting their loved ones.
I don't want these people to be dishonored. It's not right. It's not okay for their final resting place to be just looking so terrible. Something needs to be done, and we need to honor these people.
In Okmulgee, covering news that matters, Morgan Martin, FOX23 News.
Kristen says she'd love to see if there are any volunteer groups or organizations that could help with the upkeep. Morgan asked the Okmulgee Cemetery Association if that is something they would be open to. They said they can use all the help they can get and that the Muskogee Creek Nation started helping out earlier this week.